Okay, so evidently I got to try this again because I screwed it up the first time. So it's April 3rd, 2013, or April 2nd, I guess. This is the back of the house, and that's Diane's birdhouse. Been having some birds coming, going. That's a bench, that Adirondack bench that Diane painted last year, and a little table that she found at a junk store that she painted. Anyway, this is the back of the house. That's the doors that come out from our bedroom onto the deck, and got some speakers for music out here. That's the doors that come out of the kitchen onto the back deck. And this is the deck, back of the house. And this part of the deck here, out on the end here, is the first pond we built. When we first moved in, there was a small garden out here, and we took that out and built this first pond. Built this raised part over here with the dirt we took out of the pond, and that was basically our first pond right there. Everything back here in the backyard we planted. There was nothing back here. That's Diane's tree she planted. It's a dogwood. And then these fir trees back here, we planted those. All this stuff we planted. And then off to the side here is my filter system for the pond. It's a big pool type filter here that's got plastic media in it that filters the pond. And then I got some piping that extends under the deck for when I back flush it. It comes out over there on the other end, and I lay a pipe across the carport over there to flush the water out the back into the drain out in the street. And then here's the piping for the filter system. That's a black light ultraviolet filter that helps control the green algae in the water. That's the pump for the system, and it draws water out of the smaller pond on this side. This built up area in the back here, I did all that myself when I dug the pond. And then over here is the side yard. This is the east side of the house. Got a little plastic garden shed out here for some junk. This is the deck, and we redid that a couple years ago. Took the wood off, put this composite material up, extended the deck out from the back of the house by about 3 feet, 4 feet. Made this part a little bit wider. And then a few years after we had the first pond, we had so many fish that we decided to build a second pond. So we built this one, which is roughly 2.5 times the size of the first one, maybe. Got that little waterfall over in the corner. We built that raised area with the dirt, some of the dirt that we took out of the pond when we dug it. This side is about 4 feet deep. The other side's about 30 inches now. It dropped about 6 when I built the new one. I had to lower it a little bit to get the waterfall from the new bigger one to the older, smaller one. This is wisteria we got that goes across the end of the carport here, and we built all that. This cover over the deck over there used to have wisteria on it, but it got so overgrown that we chopped it all back. This shed I built here in the carport, store lawnmower and stuff. Took all the wood off the deck, the old decking, and used that for siding on the shed. Came out kind of nice, makes it look old and crusty. The windows are just for looks, they're fake. Then this is the backyard. Over the years we've finally taken all the grass out. It's just kind of a big garden area. Diane plants a lot of stuff back here. Still early in the year, so nothing's growing yet really. And then that tree there in the back corner we put in. That we put that I can't think of what it's called anyway. We put that tree in. Everything in here we put in. There was nothing back here. And we'll go out the side gate here to the back of the house. this side of the house faces the cul-de-sac in the neighborhood here. As you can see, there's my crusty trailer. It's one of my retirement projects, redo the trailer. This area over here, we built that, built up the garden area there, put that tree in. It was just in a 1-gallon bucket when we got it. And then this is the back of the house facing the cul-de-sac. That little garage on the right is just barely a single car, and then got the 3-car garage there. This is the side of the house, and we built this raised flower bed last year. This was a grassy area and it didn't grow very well, so we took all the grass out. And Diane got some roses from Greg and Mary's house and planted them a couple weeks ago. This tree was here when we moved in, Chinese maple. And then Diane's replanted most of the stuff in this flower bed here. It's the side of the house. On the west side, Diane planted everything in that flower bed and made it bigger and nicer. This little area here was here when we moved in, but Diane's chopped most of that bush off and kind of sculptured it, chopped the top off, made it look better. And this is coming onto the front of the house that faces Skidmore. Diane planted that tree. Everything along the garage here she put in. This is the back side of the garage. And I'll go across the street here so you can see the front of the house as it faces Skidmore. And there we go. Got a block wall that surrounds the courtyard in the front there. And everything out here Diane's planted. She did these 2 nice pots on either side of the gate here into the courtyard. This is where you come through to our front door. This is the front of the house. All these bushes here she planted. There was nothing. This little courtyard here actually had a pond in it when we moved in, but the courtyard is so small that the pond pretty much filled the courtyard, and it was real hard to work around. You couldn't hardly get in here to do anything, so we took the pond out, filled it in with about 4 yards of dirt. Then I built this little fountain here. The birds like it. We get a lot of hummingbirds in here. Anyway, Diane planted everything in here. She did this whole thing. We got some moss in here instead of grass, which, being Oregon, it grows real well. Lace leaf maple in the corner there. And then continuing on around back to this is the east side of the house over here. That fir tree, we planted that. It was in a gallon bucket. And then a couple years ago, or last year, Diane redid this corner and took out some real tall overgrown grass and put in some nice bushes, shrubs. This is the window to Kaylin's bedroom and Diane's Eeyore room. You can see the Eeyores in there. This bush here is a real nice fuchsia. It gets huge. It fills up this whole corner. Really a cool bush. And then this is the gate going behind the fence on the east side of the house again. We'll go through here and back to the east side of the house, the junk side. The trailer tires, spares, compost bin. There's that plastic shed, which, by the way, don't ever bother buying one of those. They're junk. And then the deck area, pond filter again. And same old stuff. Looks like the birds are coming in and out of the house there. That bird house I showed you. I really like that. They come every year, have their babies in there, and kind of fun to watch. So anyway, this is our backyard. Like I said, not much growing yet. Still kind of early in the year. And here's some fishies. I fed them this morning, but seems like they're always hungry, or they think they are. So they're probably going to come over here and try to